Hello, I'm Nancy Wilson, and for the next few minutes I would like to share with you a burden that is on my heart. There's a silent epidemic that is reaching across the globe, affecting every country, every culture, every people group. Although this epidemic is often hidden behind closed doors and carried in closed hearts, it is nevertheless very real. It's the ugly epidemic of violence, of abuse in all its terrible forms. Violence began early on in this earth's history when one brother, Cain, filled with envy and rage, murdered his younger sibling, Abel. This was the world's first case of domestic violence. And from there, things only got worse. The Bible records cases of rape, sodomy, and other forms of sexual violence, slavery, and more. Abuse is certainly not new for the human race. But perhaps what is new is that we are willing to talk about it. We are willing to acknowledge that it is happening in our world, in our countries, in our neighborhoods, in our schools, and in our churches, and also in our homes. We speak up because it is only by breaking the silence of sorrow and shame that victims can begin to find hope and healing. We bring it to attention to pull off the mask of silent anonymity that so many abusers hide behind to control their victims. We say something because we want our churches, schools, and homes to be places of safety, not hideouts for abuse. I think of my friend Karen. Of course, that isn't her real name. Karen was born into a Seventh-day Adventist home. Her parents loved her dearly and did all they could to care for her and encourage her to develop a strong relationship with Jesus. Later, Karen attended a boarding academy. Unfortunately, one teacher at the academy repeatedly sexually abused Karen. When she finally was able to tell someone, they didn't believe her. 3 decades later, Karen still can't talk about it and continues to suffer in silence. For Joy, it was the footsteps of her own father that terrified her. Night after night, as she heard his slippers shuffling down the hall toward her bedroom, she silently prayed, "Oh God, please don't let him come into my room." And yet, too often the footsteps stopped, the door opened, and Joy would be plunged into another night of abuse. Years later, Joy found healing through the church and a Christian counselor. Then there was Jessica. Jessica was a sweet little girl who attended a small rural Adventist church with her family. Being the hospitable type, her family befriended an older man who attended the same church and began inviting him to join them for various social events. Sadly, unknown to them, the man was a sexual predator and began taking every opportunity he could, such as the empty mother's room during church potlucks, to sexually abuse little Jessica. One day, when she was 12, Jessica saw a television program about sex offenders and was encouraged to tell her parents what happened. The man was eventually arrested, found guilty, and spent many years in prison. In the meantime, Jessica and her family slowly began the healing process, and today they are much stronger. And there are many more stories involving other forms of abuse that could be shared. These things are really happening close to us today. They are real. Friends, I'm sharing this with you today for 3 reasons. Number 1, to raise awareness about abuse. It is a widespread problem across the globe, and unfortunately, even within the church. Number 2, to encourage pastors and other leaders in the church to be knowledgeable about the signs of various forms of abuse and do all you can in taking precautions to prevent abuse from happening. And most importantly, to take all reports of abuse very seriously. Believe the victim. Studies have shown that victims of abuse are almost always telling the truth. I encourage everyone to go to the enditnow.org website to find resources and excellent educational material. And number 3, perhaps you have experienced trauma and abuse. I want to say to you first, it was not your fault. No matter what you were told, the truth is it was not your fault. Secondly, I want to encourage you to tell someone. You don't need to be ashamed. You don't need to keep suffering in silence. Help is available. It's free and it's as close as your mobile device or computer. Here are some resources I want to share with you, and there are probably a number of others you can access. The first one is the Hope of Survivors website, found at www.thehopeofsurvivors.com. This ministry is specifically for those who have been abused by pastors. It offers a wealth of resources for you, and it is available in 10 different languages. I encourage you to become acquainted with this important ministry and the material they offer by visiting their website at www.thehopeofsurvivors.com. If you are in the United States, another helpful resource is the National Sexual Assault Hotline that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call them at 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-4673. Or even if you aren't in the United States, you can live chat with someone anonymously by going to www.rainn.org and clicking on the live chat button. The third resource I want to share with you is a wonderful resource featuring information on where you can go for help in your own country. Just go to www.hotpeachpages, HOTPEACHPAGES.net, and click on Abuse Help Agencies for every country in the world. Then simply click on the name of your country and you will be given a list of local numbers and resources in your own country. Information is available in more than 110 languages. Finally, I want to encourage every Seventh-day Adventist church worldwide to participate in the upcoming End It Now Emphasis Day on Sabbath, August 26. Launching an End It Now campaign will help your church draw awareness to the issue of abuse, promote collaboration with the community to develop solutions, and help your church become a safe place for everyone. It offers another opportunity through total member involvement to offer hope and healing as we point people to Jesus. As you prepare for this special emphasis day, you can find more information and many helpful free downloadable resources on the End It Now website at www.enditnow.org. In closing, I want to encourage you to also watch the video from my husband, Pastor Ted Wilson, who has his own special message to share with you on this very important topic. May the Lord be with you and give you much courage and hope. Remember that you can turn to Him, God, at any time, day or night, and He will be there to comfort, guide, and encourage you. Although we don't always understand why some things happen in this dark, sinful world, we can have hope as we look to our precious Jesus. He tells us in the Bible, "Be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them, for the Lord is your God. He is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6. Hold on to Jesus, my friend. He is coming back soon to take us home. I look forward to meeting each of you then. God bless.